afternoon. Welcome to the City of Little Rock Planning Commission. Today is the 14th day of May, 2026. The May meeting is officially called to order. Mr. Thrower, would you please do a roll call?
Yes, sir. This is the roll call vote for the May 14th, 2026 Little Rock Planning Commission meeting. Commissioner Brown. Bernard. Commissioner Bernard. Hodges.
Present.
Person.
Here.
Russell.
Present.
Samad.
Here.
Vickers.
Present.
Eves.
Present.
McDonald.
Present.
Baxter.
Present.
Commissioner Bernard.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Our first order of business is to approve the minutes from April's meeting. Assuming that there are no questions, we'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the minutes as written.
Second.
Commissioner Brown. Bernard.
Yes.
Hodges.
Yes.
Person.
Aye.
Russell.
Aye.
Samad.
Yes.
Vickers.
Yes.
Eves.
Yes.
McDonald.
Yes.
Baxter.
Yes.
Minutes are approved.
Thank you. Next order of business is to review the consent agenda. Mr. Moore, would you please read the consent agenda?
Following is a consent agenda for the Little Rock Planning Commission meeting of May 14th, 2026. The first group of items are items that are on for withdrawal or deferral. First, item 1, file number Z7500K, is being withdrawn without prejudice at the request of the applicant. Item 2, Z10264, is being deferred to the June 11th, 2026 agenda at the request of the applicant. Item 3, Z10131, is being deferred to the June 11th agenda at the request of the applicant. Item 5, Z8294B, is being withdrawn as staff determined the application is not needed. Item 6, S2016, is being deferred to the June 11th agenda due to insufficient notifications. Item 7, Z10280, is being deferred to the July 9th agenda at the request of the applicant. Item 8, Z4768E, is being deferred to the June 11th agenda due to insufficient notifications. Item 10, Z10236A, is being deferred to the June 11th agenda due to insufficient notifications. Item 11, Z10283, is being deferred to the June 11th agenda at the request of the applicant. Item 18, Z10294, is being deferred to the June 11th agenda due to insufficient notifications. Item 20, Z9257B, is being deferred to the June 11th agenda due to insufficient notifications. And item 21, Z9407B, is being deferred to the June 11th agenda due to insufficient notifications. Next are the items on the consent agenda for approval. Item number 4, we're moving to the regular agenda for discussion. So the first item on consent approval is item number 9, Z9650A, Custom Made Properties PDR, 2916 West 12th Street. Staff recommends approval of the requested PDR zoning subject to compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in paragraphs D, E, and F and the staff analysis of the agenda staff report. Item 12, S2017, lots 1R through 3R, Block 12, Garland's Addition, replat, southeast corner of East 4th Street and Reichardt Streets. Staff recommends approval of the requested replat subject to compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in paragraphs D and E and the staff analysis of the agenda staff report. Item 13 is being moved to the regular agenda for discussion. Item 14, Z10287, Elite Equity 10, conditional use permit, 2105 South Tyler Street. Staff recommends approval of the requested CUP subject to compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in paragraphs D and E and the staff analysis of the agenda staff report. Item 15, Z10285, a rezoning from I-2 to R3, 4412 West 24th Street. Staff recommends approval of the requested R3 rezoning. Item 16, Z10-288, a rezoning from R3 to R4, 310 South Oak Street. Staff recommends approval of the requested R4 rezoning. Item 17, LU 2026-0101, a land use plan amendment in the River Mountain Planning District from RL to PKOS, 4410 Sandpeck Road. Staff supports the proposed land use plan amendment in the River Mountain Planning District from residential low density to park open space and recommends approval. Item 17.1, Z10-293, a rezoning from R2 to AF, 4410 Sandpeck Road. Staff recommends approval of the requested AF rezoning. Item 19, LU 2026-0901, a land use plan amendment in the I-630 Planning District from MX to LI. Lots 5 through 8, Block 11, Roots and Coy Addition. Staff supports the proposed land use plan amendment in the I-630 Planning District from residential low density to light industrial and recommends approval. Item 19.1, Z10-295, a rezoning from R3 to I-2, north side of West 11th Street, approximately 200 feet east of South Woodrow Street. Staff recommends approval of the requested I-2 rezoning. Item 22, Z10-286, Elite Equity 10 PDR, northwest corner of Young Road and Eda Drive. Staff recommends approval of the requested PDR zoning, subject to compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in paragraphs D and E in the staff analysis of the agenda staff report. Item 23, Z8629D, Storage Space LLC, conditional use permit time extension, 102 South Rodney Parham Road. Staff recommends approval of the requested 36-month time extension. Item 24 is being moved to the regular agenda for discussion. And item 25, Z10-284, Vasquez STR2 PDC, 1912 West Daisy Bates Drive. Staff recommends approval of the PDC, subject to compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in paragraph E and the staff analysis of the agenda staff report. That concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion regarding the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Bernard?
Yes.
Hodges?
Yes.
Person?
Yes.
Russell?
Aye.
Samad?
Yes.
Vickers?
Yes.
Eves?
Yes.
McDonald?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Consent agenda has been approved.
Thank you, Mr. Thrower. If your item was on the consent agenda, you're welcome to step out. And there will be 3 items on the regular agenda tonight. As mentioned, they will be items number 4, 13, and 24. We'll start off with item number 4. Yes, sir.
My name is Kenneth Rahim.
Yes, sir.
And we received a notice in the mail, and we don't understand what's going on, and it's that the address is 2223 Commerce Street.
That application is being deferred to the June 11th agenda.
Okay, June 11th agenda.
So you'll get another notice in the mail for June 11th.
Very much. Thank you very kindly,
Thank you
and
so much.
appreciate you.
We'll see you in June. All right, so item number 4, which is file number Z-10245. Mr. Moore, would you please do a reading?
Item number 4, file number Z10-245 is the Bates Group Home Special Use Permit located at 301 Dryad Lane. The applicant is requesting a special use permit to allow for a group home to operate within an existing 1-story, 1,399 square foot, 4-bedroom, single-family residence. The home is located at 301 Dryad Lane and will contain a maximum of 6 disabled persons. The applicant notes that there'll be 1 live-in staff person and a second staff person that will visit the residence as needed. The property contains a 1-car wide driveway from Dryad. The driveway, it will be for the parking of 2 vehicles. On-street parking is also allowed along Dryad Lane. The applicant notes that 1 or 2 of the residents will drive, and there'll also be typically 1 staff person at the residence at any time. The applicant has provided information showing that the group home will comply with sections 8406A and B of city code, and that's the minimum square footage for the dwelling unit and the minimum square footage for the bedrooms. Staff recommends approval of the requested SUP, subject to compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in paragraph E and the staff analysis of the agenda staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Applicant, would you please approach the podium and state your name for the record?
My name's James Kevin Bates.
Thank you, Mr. Bates. So we're going to have, yeah, absolutely. We're going to have 20 minutes. You can present now. Of course, the opposition has 20 minutes. There are 4 cards in opposition, so you can choose either to speak now or defer your time. Before you make that decision, though, we do have a reading from our city attorney.
I'm going to do the abbreviated version. Since we're dealing with a group home, no discussions about someone's disability is allowed. We need to keep it to topics dealing with public safety, health, and welfare. Also, since we are talking about 6 people under Section 3654-4B, as the commission is aware, because we do this quite a bit, there is a presumption that the group home would be allowed.
Thank you.
I would let the opposition go ahead and talk first. That way that they can get their stuff out and I can answer those questions. Can I do that?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, and as mentioned, we do have 4 cards. These are divided. You have 20 minutes total. So we'll start off with Mr. Eric DeVries.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, I appreciate you guys' time. And I'm glad Mr. Bates is here. I actually had my first conversation with him today. This is the first time I've seen him. And, you know, this is a tough topic. We all believe, I think, in our hearts that people deserve a second chance. And I would like to think that I'm an open-minded person, Mr. Bates. And I think there's a right and a wrong way of going about this, though. You know, this home has been in operations. He rented it in August, and it's been going on without any kind of permit, basically, since then. No notification, no discussion. I think, like our community, we have a lot of elderly people in our community, and people are really, there's a lot of fear. And I think if he'd have, and this is the same thing I told him, if he'd have come to our homeowners association meeting and discussed this fully with us, I would like to think there's enough people with like open hearts and minds that would say, okay, let's discuss this. Things like proper supervision and that they're going to be drug tested every week and all these things that we assume is in this home, but we didn't know. The things that I do know is he's had these kind of things before, just from a quick search of his social media, so he's aware of what a group home is. So he should definitely know that there's a permit required, and he's operating it as a business, and he's been doing this for quite a while. He didn't show up for the last meeting, and that to me shows a lack of respect for you guys as well as for the homeowners to discuss the situation. Just since January, I'm aware of at least 4 times that we've had police and ambulance out there. So it's a nuisance. It's not, if that's proper supervision, I have serious questions about the level of supervision that's going on there. I do appreciate Mr. Bates and what he's trying to do if it was done the correct way. But I think that should have been done on the front end rather than the rear end. And because of that, I'm in opposition to this. I'll defer my time to others.
Thank you. Next up is Ollie Haney. Ms. Ollie Haney.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm here in opposition to this housing item that's being offered. I don't know a whole lot about group homes. My husband and I relocated here from Washington State 2 years ago, and we bought this little house, and I'm 82 years old, and I don't look to be here a long time after this. And I would like to be able to live in a house where I can live in comfort and that I won't have to be worried about us being attacked. And especially with this big old dog that's trying to jump the fence every time we go out to mow the lawn. We can't put trash out. We can't we can't go in the back lawn, period. And he's practically tearing the fence down, and my husband is constantly having to use zip ties to keep the fence up. And my husband is a 17-year-plus veteran from the Army, and he's disabled. So we are not able to control this animal if he gets into our backyard. And we cannot, I try to watch him, the dog, and my husband while he's out mowing, but that is not something that I can do because I've had meningeal removed from my brain 4 years ago before we moved here. So we went with a real estate agent here in Little Rock, and they got us this little house, and we were hoping that we would be able to live in comfort without having to worry about who lived next door to us and what's going on, and if we're going to be attacked in our sleep at night. And we're on several different medications. I'm on 8 or 10 myself. So to have to be aware of what's going on at my house, at my door, because I'm medicated, and that creates a problem for me when I see these things that says, a group home, who are these people? Where did they come from? What is their agenda? What is going on with this? And I have pictures of them with this dog. I have pictures of them blocking our driveway as they move in and out. And it's hard for me to understand what is it about this little house that they just have to have it. As large as Little Rock is, and I've looked it up, is there not some other place that you could put your business without having to aggravate us? I'm too old to have to live with all of this aggravation. And I know that God has blessed me to be here 82 years, but I know he's not going to bless me to be here another 82. So I believe that I am asking the right people to deal with this problem and make it possible for my husband and I to live in comfort and in peace without having to worry about us being attacked at night, being attacked by the dog when we walk out the door. And every time we step out the door, the dog is trying to attack us, even to just put out the trash. It's a problem. The first year that we were here, it was good. But now it's created a problem for us. And we would like for this committee to consider this man putting his business in another location other than where we are. Thank you for your time and your patience.
Thank you, Mrs. Haney.
And one other thing.
Yes, ma'am.
That dog got loose and chased the children across the street from us and was trying to attack the children. There are too many little children running up and down the street for this big old dog to be trying to get over the fence and attack these children.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Chairman Baxter, I would like to ask the lady if she's, ma'am, would you mind stepping back to the podium, please? And Bradley, we need to get involved with this dog. Has anyone called animal services when the dog got out? Have you spoke to anyone in the city so that we can?
I called someone from Animal Services, and they told me that I had the wrong number and I had to call somebody else, and it was on a weekend and that place was closed.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I will get with you and I will give you my card and give you my information. Okay. And we will take care of the issue with the animals. If there's a problem and they're not following the ordinances and codes, we'll correct that.
Ms. Haney, I also would implore you to call 311 along with the help that you're going to get later today. 311 is the city service line for matters such as what you're experiencing. Just 311 and you'll reach somebody.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mrs. Haney. Next up is Meg Dunn.
Thank you for your time. I'm Meg Dunn. I'm president of the Pembroke Clover Hill Neighborhood Association. and I hope I don't make a fool of myself in front of y'all. I've gone over what I'm supposed to say, but I'm so nervous. We're a small residential area, 225 roughly homes. They're modest homes. There are a lot of first-time homeowners. I actually rented about 40 years ago, and I bought a little home that I still maintain there. I'd just like to add something to your question about the dog. I did go to Director Lewis and ask her if she could find out, because I believe it is part pit, that if the dog had been registered. She had told me that she made contact with Tracy Roark, Animal Control. He was aware of the dog. That's all I know. And I don't know if that means it's been registered or not. There was a picture I sent to the staff yesterday, just of the home. When I went by there yesterday, I didn't see the dog, but there was a little girl outside, and I think it's the same girl she's referring to, the neighbor. And I asked her, and she's very little, and I said, have you seen, I didn't see the big dog, and she said no, but she'd had some friends over, and the dog had gotten out and tried to attack them in the yard of the little girls. So I'm just adding that. I don't know if this group home is a good fit for our neighborhood. We've had one before at the end of Clover Hill. It's been at least 20 years ago. We had problems with it. It was kind of shoved down our throat. We had one neighbor that could not get along. The people that were in the group home were very ugly to him. He had lived there for years. He finally moved. He couldn't take it. We've had another group home that tried to go in on Nebling. This was about 3 years ago. They did not do the proper application and whatever. We only found out about it when a young lady that was staying at the home came to her neighbor late at night, and she was terrified. Somebody had a gun. And they called the police, but we did get rid of that one, and the owner was in New York. And that's one thing about our neighborhood. We have modest homes that are affordable, and as the older people have passed on, or there's more renters going in now, and a lot of times, not always, renters don't care what the property looks like. In fact, the little girl across the street, when I stopped yesterday, there was trash all over her yard. The garbage cans were out, but there was trash all over the yard. And I found it interesting that the notice that was required to the residents for this meeting, there were 29 names. 16 out of the 29 were non-residents. Some were a realty company. One person lived in Utah, and its code will tell you it's hard to enforce rules, simple rules. And I'm like Eric, what he said, I think people are willing to give people a second chance, but you don't know. And the way Mr. Bates has gone about this, it's doesn't settle well with people. If he had come and tried to explain the situation, I think that would have been much better. But we're also dealing with a home in the neighborhood where we've had arrests for drugs. We think possibly prostitution. The police say anyway, we have a lot of issues. And then we have a house that burned recently. The owner lives in Florida. And the only reason he knew about the fire at his house, which was arson, was because the people he employs to maintain the yard, and we had homeless people living in there. The house is now boarded up. The man has a year, according to code, to do something with the house. He wants to redo it and use it like a B&B for medical people. The point I guess I'm trying to make is we have so many renters in there, and a lot of renters just don't care. And we're wondering, Mr. Bates' home, he is renting this from the owner. How does he plan to maintain it or keep keep it up. And I'm so sorry, I'm sure I'm missing something that I wanted to say to you, but I just want to know, of you gentlemen and ladies on the board, have you ever lived in a neighborhood where you've had a group home? And I bet you haven't. And the sad part is, even though we bring our concerns to you, and we appreciate you listening, and maybe they're not, because I know y'all go by rules and regulations about what you are gonna, that you accept this proposal or whatever, but it's just like we're losing control of our neighborhood because of all the problems we've had in it recently. And the thing is, what I meant to say was, we feel like even though we have concerns, that it's going to be approved anyway. That's what makes us upset for one reason. But I may be wrong, and this may work out, but it hasn't started very well. And we just don't think it's a good fit for our neighborhood. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Dunn. Next up is Sha Wenjun Wong. Okay. I think she left. I just sent her a text message, but doesn't look like she's in the halls. Yes, Mr. DeVries?
Real quickly, since he's going to talk about this, if we could get some clarification, he's a renter. We just want to make sure that that's included in his lease, that is permissible, that he has that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. In light of the fact that Ms. Wong is not here, Mr. Bates, it's back to you. You have 20 minutes.
Let me start with saying I apologize if we didn't do things right to you guys in the community. We're here today so that we can tell you that, yes, we do have a group home in the neighborhood, but we, if you go by there, you'll see that the lawn is actually taken care of. They pick up the trash. It's very well maintenance. They mow it often. The dog has been registered. He is not a harmful dog. He is actually a friendly dog. He thinks that everything's his property, just like any other dog. You get a dog, you get a Chihuahua, it's in there going, burr, 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 burr. It's going to bite yarp and chase you around. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't going to harm nobody. He ain't going to do nothing to you. Best thing he's going to do is lick you and probably try to hump you. That's what he does. I'm just telling you. He's done it to many of the residents, you know what I mean? And he wants some treats. I'm just telling you. That's he's a friendly dog. I did send Mr. Thrower the licensing and the registration. We got that done. He also got neutered. He's been vaccinated. He's had his rabies shots. We can talk about putting him on maybe a leash or something to get him off the fence so that the neighbors feel more safe. If that's something that they would be willing to work with, we'll do that. Try to make things better for them so that they feel comfortable in their neighborhood, because that's what we're here to do, make a better neighborhood. Now, there's people in that neighborhood that are down the way, like they said, renting and stuff, that are smoking weed, drinking alcohol, and all that stuff, and they got nobody monitor them. Okay, people with guns in the neighborhood. And the people at my house, they don't. They have, they get drug tested often. If we think that they're using, they're not going to be there. They're going to go to a rehab or something. We do monitor that stuff. I do understand the concerns as a homeowner myself that they are facing, and I do care about their feelings. These people deserve just as much chance as they do to have a normal life. And so that's what we're trying to do. Cut down the recidivism rate, help people that have disabilities, and better the community. You know, they are monitored and they are drug tested often. And they have people that come in and live with them while they're there. And so they're never without somebody on site. And with that, I'm going to pass.
Thank you, Mr. Bates. Commissioners, any questions of Mr. Bates or the residents? Commissioner Person?
Go ahead, sir.
Chairman Baxter, the neighbors have been complaining about the dog, and one of we can't deny this because according to our statutes, and I know there's many board members that do not like that. It's state law, but we can put conditions on the permit. And if one of the conditions, and Hannah just mentioned to me, as a possible privacy fence, so that. And so I'm wondering, ma'am, would you feel better if they built a privacy fence between you and your property so your husband could mow the grass and do it in peace?
I don't understand what you're saying, privacy fence, because there's a,
Like a big, tall,
Wouldn't
Mrs. Haney?
wooden,
like the one on the other side of me,
I'm not really aware of that.
like a wood fence.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make the commission aware that even though you cannot deny, you can put conditions. And if the neighbors feel unsafe because it's a chain link fence, and when they go out there, the dog is on the chain link fence, you can definitely put a condition on the property.
Oh, yes, Mr. Haynes. Yep, come on to the podium, please. Yes.
We don't own that property, but there is a building out there that is away from their fence that he can be chained to. And yes, we do have permission to run that property in there.
Sir, I'm sorry. Chaining the dog, I would have to look at, I don't think that you can chain a dog in the backyard, and I wouldn't suggest that just both from a legal or moral standpoint.
No, I'm saying when he's out running around, not for like to, you to put the dog out, you tether him. People do it all the time.
Mr. Bates, real quick question. I'm going to ask at least this. Who actually does own the property?
Miss Wong,
Got it.
yes. And so she owns the property. Now I can move him somewhere else.
Okay.
Ma'am, if I could, I'll move him somewhere else. You know what I mean? And register him somewhere else.
Ms. Wong in opposition?
And I do want to note for the record, I had misread and I thought that Ms. Wong was here to oppose the item. Ms. Wong was here to support the item, but she is obviously not present. So it is good to know that at least that she showed up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
This is a question for our illustrious city attorney. Sorry, Sean. I know our default on these is to pass through. However, every other one we've had has been a situation where the operator was the owner of the property. And I think we're all kind of a little sidebar here, and I think we're all a little bit concerned because this is the first time we've seen one where the operator, no offense, sir, is a renter. And I think that creates a number of safety concerns, longevity concerns. Does that change our position as a city at all from code?
No.
Okay.
No,
So
the way our statute's written, it doesn't say whether it's the tenant or the owner.
Okay.
Because basically it is the owner that is, it is the owner that's going to get this special use permit, not necessarily the tenant. In fact, if the tenant leaves, the owner still has the right to do the group home. You do understand that?
Yes.
This is not issue to you. It's issue to the owner.
Yes.
And to the property. And if she wants you out, she can still run this
Yes.
group home under this application.
Okay, so that creates a different concern, which is, does this even, and I don't know, I mean, shouldn't the owner be the one making the application, not, that's where I think we're all getting nervous on this one.
Well, yes, I don't think Ms. Wong should have left. But owners sometimes, all the time, as y'all know, have people come up here, whether it's an engineer or an architect or whomever, and they speak on their behalf. If you like, we can defer it and then have Ms. Wong come back before the commission.
That's the applicant's decision, but yeah, that's.
Brad?
Mr. Chair, I will say that an affidavit was signed by the property owner
Okay.
to allow Mr. Bates to
Okay.
speak for the
All right.
property.
Yes, Mr. Moore.
And also, with all due respect, I think it's an assumption that the other ones that have come before you were the property owner. I don't really think that's necessarily the case.
I don't have remember like this, so maybe it's just me. but-
Yeah, I mean, I feel fairly sure that we've had some that were not the actual owner.
Yeah, often they're renting the property and getting permission from the owner. There's a bunch of different places that rent because they can't afford to buy.
Thank you, Mr. Bates.
Yeah.
Commissioners, Commissioner Eves?
Yes, I would still, I guess, ask the question, given, public safety and public concern. You know, the dog is an issue. And we've we mentioned a couple of things, but what can we absolutely do to ensure the safety of the neighbors and the kids across the street and everything?
Right. Like I said, when he goes out to the back, the only thing to keep him off the fence, because I don't own the property, like I said, is to have him on a lead so that he runs around without being able to jump up on the fence, because that's their concern. He's never jumped the fence. That's not saying that he don't have the ability to, but he's never done it. So to keep him off the fence, we can put him on a lead and then take him off when he comes in the house. And then we put in some things where to keep him from running out the door, because that's how he was getting out. He was running out the door. And I think since he's been neutered, he's gonna calm down a little bit. He's only 2 years old, you know? So he's just learning, you know, and he's gotten calmer and he's gonna continue to get into a calmer thing. I think the only thing that we could do is put him on a lead. And then that way he ain't jumping on their fence.
Mr. Jordan?
Sir, I would, having to do with the dog, I would speak with Mr. Roark to just see what best practices are. Please don't try to do this yourself.
Okay.
Mr. Moore?
Yeah, according to code, for special use permits are not transferable in any manner. Permits cannot be transferred from owner to owner, location to location, or use to use. So it depends on how you interpret that. I would think the use to use, if his group home goes out, I'm not sure that the owner, even though it's the same owner, could operate another group home. So.
Okay, thank you.
I have one question.
Commissioner McDonald?
Yes, so just because you are a renter, what would make it that we couldn't have a privacy fence? Because if she signed that you're speaking on her behalf, then you would have to
If you guys
talk to
need
her
a
about it.
privacy fence, I'll put one up. That's not a problem.
Okay, I'm just saying your explanation was that you were just renting the place.
Yeah,
If
I mean,
you-
I would have to get permission to put it up, of course, because I'm not the owner of the property. So that falls on them to approve me to be able to do that. That's why I said it the way I did. Because as you know, if you've ever rented, you cannot change the property unless you ask for permission by the owner. Otherwise, you can be terminated from your lease.
Right, but we're
Those
asking the owner.
things are all within the outlines of the lease.
Mr. Overton?
And I think at this point, I think Ms. Wong needs to be here because, once again, we can't approve this application based upon what you're going to do. If the commission's gonna vote, they're gonna say, you know, put up a privacy fence, and then that would be a condition. So I think we ought to defer and let the owner come up here and speak, but that's just my recommendation.
Yes. Commissioner Hodges?
Okay, whose dog is it and why is it there?
It's my dog. He's emotional support dog that I put in there for the clients.
So he can be moved then?
Yes. We can move the dog. That I stated that earlier. I would move him.
Commissioner Person?
I had a question about the fence as well, but, you know, if you can't make that final decision,
I'm gonna move him. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move him off the property. That way we can alleviate this part. We can move forward. As of today, I'll move him to another property, to my house.
I'm still in support of the privacy fence anyway, dog or no dog, so.
Mr. Moore?
So with that statement, we'll make that a condition of your approval that the
Yes.
dog will be moved to another location.
Yes, today.
Okay. And then also the privacy fence, but I think there is, I mean, obviously, we do have the affidavit that you are authorized, I didn't read the specific wording. Commissioner Russell, is it to speak on behalf of or to act on behalf of, according to the affidavit?
Is it okay if I make a call to her and ask her if it's okay if I do it and then,
I would prefer, in the interest of time and efficiency, to entertain a motion to defer this to next month.
The affidavit states to act as my agent regarding the property. So there's no limitation on his ability to act.
okay, then I'll put up the privacy fence.
Make that a condition.
Okay,
Make that a condition, and removal of the dog.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, 6-foot wooden privacy fence.
Is it on both sides or just theirs?
All sides.
Both sides?
All sides.
All sides, okay.
Commissioners, if there's not any other questions, Mr. Moore?
When you frame your motion with, as far as the fence go, will you phrase it a privacy fence around the perimeter, whatever perimeter you want it on, that complies, that the height of it must comply with code?
Noted.
And do we have to get a permit to get that fence put up?
Yes, height and limits, because
If it's,
like you can't fence your entire property, you can only go a certain distance towards the front of the house on the side yard. So just make sure, complying with the limitations of the building code.
But, I mean, you can fence your entire yard, but the height changes depending on where you are in the yard.
So are we talking about the backyard where it's already got a fence, or are we talking about the whole property? That's a different dynamic.
It's my understanding that the side perimeter, the backyard, so a backyard fence.
Okay, okay. And I have to pull permits for that? Or I can just put it up?
if it's 6 foot, or if it's a 6-foot fence, you do not. If it's over 6, you do.
You got a pin, so
So
under
if you had an
6.
8-foot fence, you would have to get a permit.
Okay,
If
so
you had a
under
6-foot
6.
fence, you would not.
6 foot and below.
Yeah, up to 6.
Standard, 6-foot fence.
Yeah, 6 is standard.
6 foot privacy fence. Privacy fence. Okay. All right. We'll get it done.
Okay. I think we are ready for a motion.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion for the approval of item number Z-10245, subject to compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in paragraphs D and E in the staff analysis of the agenda staff report. And in addition to this, to build a privacy fence, 6-foot privacy fence on all sides of property in compliance with building codes, and removal of the dog.
Second.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Brown?
Yes, but I'd like on record that it's only an advice of counsel.
Bernard?
Yes.
Hodges?
Yes, due to court decisions.
Person?
Yes.
Russell?
Aye.
Samad?
Yes.
Vickers?
Yes.
Eves?
Yes.
McDonald?
Yes.
Baxter?
Abstain.
Motion's approved.
Mrs. Haney, Mr. DeVries, and Mrs. Dunn, I don't usually like speaking from this chair, but I would encourage y'all to reach out to your city director. This has been an issue, and I think it's good to send this to the board. But as mentioned, there are some legal restrictions, and this continues to be an issue that needs to be addressed. Mr. Bates, thank you, sir. Yes, Mrs. Dunn, come to the podium, please.
Am I correct to understand that we can appeal this
It can be appealed to the
Okay.
city board.
to the city board?
Correct.
Okay, and do I need to contact?
Ultimately, our commission is a recommendation of approval. The city board does have ultimate authority. Potentially, there could be some legal considerations there, just as there are here, but I would encourage you to look into that process.
Okay, just contact the board.
Yes, ma'am, you can either contact your city director for your ward, or I believe you could reach out to planning department. Yep, to Director Jordan.
Yes, ma'am, you can reach out to me, or you can reach out to Ms. Seegers, who's the city clerk.
And they'll walk you through that
Thank
process.
you.
Thank you all. Thank you, sir. You too. All right, our next, second to last item on the agenda is item number 13, Z-10152-A. Mr. Moore, would you do a reading?
Item 13, file number Z 10152A, is Michi's Private Club and Lounge Conditional Use Permit located at 617, 619 South Spring Street. The applicant requests a conditional use permit to allow for the operation of a private club and lounge in the existing building located at 617, 619 South Spring Street. The property is occupied by a one-story brick commercial building. The proposed private club and lounge will occupy approximately 5,000 square feet of the overall 14,925 square foot building. The applicant did provide detailed description of the use. I won't go through all of that. I'll let you ask questions of the applicant if you have any. The property is located in the UU zoning district. There are no off-street parking requirements. On-street parking is allowed along both sides of Spring Street and West 7th Street, as well as other streets in the immediate area. Staff is supportive of the requested CUP. Staff feels the request is reasonable and an appropriate location for this use. Staff recommends approval of the requested CUP subject to compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in paragraphs D and E and the staff analysis of the agenda staff report. With that being said, let me give you just a little bit of information about the UU zoning district. The UU zoning district, the permitted uses are those found in all the residential zoning districts, office zoning districts, and commercial zoning districts. Therefore, a bar or lounge is a permitted use at this location. A private club, as defined by code, is either a restaurant and or a bar that is set up with a private membership. So that's the reason this application is before you, is because the applicant wants to operate as a private club and not just a bar or lounge.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Applicant, would you please approach the podium and state your name for the record?
Good evening, Demetrius Randall.
Thank you, Mr. Randall. And Mr. Randall, there's one card in opposition. You may speak now, or you can defer your time.
I defer.
Okay, thank you, sir. And the first and only card is Mr. Stark Ligon.
Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you. My name is Stark Ligon. I am an attorney, have been for over 50 years. I am retired. I am not here in the capacity of an attorney representing a client. A couple of blocks up that way south, back that way, is my home church, First United Methodist Church of downtown Little Rock. It's at the corner of the block that is at 7th and Center Streets. Immediately to the west of it, the block which is Center on the east, Spring on the west, 7th on the north, and 8 on the south, is totally owned by my church. I'm here because the senior pastor, David Freeman, asked me, I'm on the governing board, to come and listen. Well, since there's been a deferral, if you will, of the applicant, and I'm pleased to meet you, Mr. Randall. I'm not sure how to contact you, but here we are. The church has these concerns. First is parking. Second is trash. Third is safety in the area to the public. Now, of course, our church has the regular hours that most churches do. Sunday's the big time when our folks are downtown. But the block to the west of the church, and let's see, let me see if I can do this, reading it backwards to you here. You see on the purple slide that's up there, there's a broken white rectangular line around the property, which I think, based on my visual and physical walking around that block several times at several different hours of the day. It's the north 1/3 of the west half of that block. Now, there's one building shown there, and the 2/3 of the building is below the white broken line. The building is owned by Square Deal Builders. The principal is Marvin Itzkowitz, who now lives in Hot Springs in retirement. Many of you are old enough to recognize the Itzkowitz name as the Square Deal Pawn Shop across the river in downtown Little Rock for close to 100 years, I'm told. Mr. Itzkowitz's corporation, Square Deal Building, I am told, I have not run a title search on this, but I am told has no parking. Now, if you'll see the right side of the rectangle that has the broken lines around it, I think the building's about 100 feet wide from east to west. All right. That is parking, and if you got real good eyes, you can see what appeared to be a couple of vehicles on the part that is not light purple. Now, it's important that you understand what is there and what is being claimed possibly for use. Now, in the lower right, far lower right, you'll see the front part of my church's building. If you go across Center Street, going to your left, you will see the first half, east half of that block is a lighter color. Well, okay, that's church parking lot. Okay, then you go across the alley, which runs north and south, and you'll see a practically square building that's the lightest thing there. That is the Child Development Center, which our church started in the late 60s, moved into that building in the mid-1980s, and houses over 250 children up through, I think, about the 6th grade or something like that, from infants. I have a little over 2-year-old grandson there, so I'm familiar with that, and my heart belongs there. So that's one of the reasons I'm here. Just to the north of that white square are parking spaces. The church owns all of that block. We have 22 numbered, marked, rented out privately, commercial, on a monthly basis to individuals. Right across the street to the north, well, wait a minute, let me go back to the Spring Street is the last full north and south street you'll see, which would be to your left. All right, then there's the building 617 and 618, which are in the broken white line. That would lead one to believe that the parking spaces immediately to the east are with the property that's owned by Square Deal Builders. I am told they are not. That all of that parking lot there, which has, I think, 36 marked, striped, and numbered parking spaces, is owned or was owned before he died a couple of years ago by John Wesley Buddy Raines, a State Farm agent and a lawyer, it turns out, who lived at 306 West 7th Street. Now, I don't know how or when he acquired those 36 spaces, but I've talked yesterday to the realtor who has a listing to sell all of that, plus the strip of office buildings that are front on 7th Street, including Mr. Raines. I think there are 3 or 4 buildings there. Price is $750,000 if any of you are interested. Brooks McRae is his name. He's got his sign posted on those storefronts there on 7th Street, and also going up Center Street to the north. Now, why is that important? you have to have that background to know that the south 2/3 of the building at issue, which has an address of 320 West 7th Street, is occupied by an event center. The public name on the front doors on West 7th is Upper Crust Events. It has a lease with Square Deal Builders for that property that it occupies, only the building. So it has no off-street parking that goes with it. None of those 36 spaces that butt up to the east side of the building. Just as a proportion of about 1/3 of those 36 spaces, which are to the east of 617, 619, which Mr. Randall's application covers here tonight, as far as I can tell, he won't get any access to that because they are now owned by one of Mr. Rain's daughters, who is the client that Mr. Brooks McRae from McKinney Realty works for. Her name happens to be Jody Rains Dennis, and just coincidentally, she doesn't want the property, so she got Mr. McRae to list it and try and sell it. She happens to be a circuit judge down in Pine Bluff, if any of you know the area down there. Okay, I hope I have laid out who's where on all this. Now, Upper Crust Events, therefore, has no off-street parking either that's available to it. How many spaces are there on both sides of 7th Street and both sides of Spring Street right there? Not very many. So when the patrons come to Upper Crust Events, the nearest place is to pull into our church's lots. But we rented those out to other people with 24/7 access in the deal. Now, the 36 spots that are to the east of the building that we're talking about, and Mr. Randall wants to open his private club in, are, I'm told by Mr. McRae, the realtor, basically rented out, excuse me, to employees of Entergy Corporation who work in the downtown area. So there's somebody on or in or paying rent on those parking spaces that are nearest to either Upper Crust Event Center or above it, Mr. Randall's application. Now, let me take you back in time. Some of you are familiar with downtown may remember the theater that was where the current event center is for about 12 years. They left, the current Upper Crust Events came in, and they're there on a 3-year lease from Mr. Itkowitz's company. But let's go back to the early morning hours of July 1, 2017. Do any of you remember or ever hear of or read about Power Ultra Lounge nightclub at 220 West 6th Street? Something happened there in the early morning hours. Shots rang out. There was a big crowd. 25 people were shot and 3 were hurt in other ways. Fortunately, there were no fatalities. Now, I'm not saying that there's any guilt by association or implication or speculation that another Power Ultra Lounge thing will happen, but it's 2 blocks away and 1 block from our church to the north, whereas the properties I've described are 1 block to the west of our church. We're becoming concerned about public health and safety with these types of tenants there and the mix of alcohol. But let's go back to parking. We've got obligations to our tenants who are paying for our parking. Should we have to, chain off or put key locks or swipe cards or something on our properties, just so that they are somehow reserved for the people who rent them from us? Trash. Our church staff have to go out many times on Sunday mornings before we hold services and our congregants come in to remove the trash that's been left there overnight. The CDC keeps these youngsters until 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, so their parents can pick them up when the parents get off late if they need to. All right. These event centers will be open maybe 4 or 5 or something. There may be a couple of hours overlap there when they're open to their patrons. We've got another issue right there. Increased traffic and possibly, it's a safety issue. This is my first time to ever come to one of these meetings. I don't know what will be said afterwards. I have concerns about some of the documents that have been filed, and in fact, the original application handwritten by Mr. Randall was for 320 West 7th, and the staff caught it and said, no, the site plan shows it's 617 and 619 South Spring, and they corrected that. So in effect, his original application was for the one where Ms. Mahomes is operating her upper crust event center. I think that's been straightened out now. Again, I'm not here as an attorney, just as an observer. I've done a lot of research on this. I think it needs more study, and if I understand correctly, Mr. Randall has to get approval by the city for the use of the location before he can then file at ABC to get the necessary alcohol permits to sell and serve alcohol there. Now, there's one other thing I'd like to say. This building, the 2 suites, 617, 619, if you go down there and look through them, 617 you cannot really see through because the windows are blacked out somehow. So step down to 619, look through the front door, or go to the back of the building onto that parking lot that they cannot use, as I understand it legally, and look through, and you're looking through an empty shell. Okay, so, I mean, it is not user-ready, ready to go, as I can see, without substantial build-out for a club, an event center, or whatever. So just to let you know, go do that yourself if you want to. I don't see anything in there except a sign with the name David and a phone number saying building for lease that you can see through the back door window. Well, David is the nephew of Marvin Itzkowitz, and they had been trying to sell or lease or do something with these 2 units, 617 and 619, for some time. So I don't want to try and drill any deeper than that. I just, when I was given the card, I didn't know whether to mark opposed or supporting. I was looking for a box that said, don't know until I hear, a presentation. So thank you for your courtesy.
Thank you. I actually have some questions for the opposition.
Mr.
Sir, yeah, I want to, before the applicant gets back up here, I want to take a couple of minutes and try to address some of your concerns. Can you tell me what is the parking requirement in the city of Little Rock for the UU zoning district?
I am not familiar with that.
0. There is no on-street parking requirement for any building within the UU zone of the city of Little Rock. So there is no concern about parking, at least as it pertains to this board. I also want to address your safety concerns. Are you familiar with 610?
With what?
610?
Yes, sir. It's a nightclub over on Center Street.
Correct.
A half block up the street from our church.
It's immediately behind this building.
That's right.
Have you had any cause to call the police since 610 has been in operation?
Not to my knowledge.
Have you had any issues with those patrons illegally using your church parking?
Not that I know of.
Are you familiar with EJ's that used to be just another half block up the street? Really great burgers.
On the right side.
Correct.
The southeast corner of 6th and Center.
Center, yep.
I know it's there, and I know it's a restaurant.
They had live music, did you ever have cause to call the police because of noise violations or people illegally using your parking lots or bothering the children? It was open all day long for lunch and dinner.
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. So what leads you to believe that there would be any different security risks or issues with this business?
I don't know.
Thank you.
I'd like to hear from the applicant on that.
Thank you. That's all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner Russell. Thank you, Mr. Ligon. All right, Mr. Randall, the floor is yours.
Use these. I turned 50 a couple months ago, and boy, I think it was, well, I don't have to address the parking. You've given me that. Mr. Liggins, I just want to address you personally. I do.
This way.
I'm sorry. I do understand his concerns, and I come to do the opposite of what he's actually speaking of. I'm just going to read this out because he brought up some things, and this is, if you guys want it, I have copies, what I'm going to read. If you want to study it further, I can pass them out. So, my name is Demetrius. I want to open up Michi's Private Club and Lounge. First thing I want to establish is this is not a nightclub whatsoever. It's the opposite of a nightclub, but just for familiarity of words, I use Private Club and Lounge. It's scaled to be an upscale membership-based lounge, sophisticated, welcoming social environment for adults. The venue will offer a comfortable space where professionals, guests can enjoy music, cocktails, and social gatherings in a safe and well-managed atmosphere. One of my key caveats of my club is that why I want it to be private is because I want to have, I want my clients and my patrons to be accountable for their actions. So if anybody comes to my business, they have to be represented by an application that will be approved. Those applications can be revoked if any of the circumstances are not taking into accountability as far as hanging outside, trash, loitering, any of that type of thing. Also, there'll be an age requirement and restriction. If anything with loud music, the way I'm going to build it, I have up a partition wall. The music levels will be monitored at all times, but that partition wall will kind of act like a base where music won't go outside the door. It's private again, 25 and up with an approved application. My hours of operations, tentatively Monday through Sunday, 4 to 12 a.m. With ticketed events on occasions. Security measures, I've worked constantly with Little Rock Police Department and the sheriff. I also have a private security team. Cameras would be, again, the membership thing would be key fobs. So with the application, there's a key fob, so I know who's in my business at any given time, who's not, when they've been there, how many times they come. And far as the neighborhood, I also own a nonprofit, which is not on here. I work Benevolent Hearts, and so First Presbyterian, which is, I think, 3 blocks from his church, I feed the homeless. So the money that I make from this goes back into my nonprofit. I clean the neighborhoods, like, I don't know if he's aware, but that street in front of Spring was dirty. Me and my youth came and cleaned that street up. I haven't been approved of anything. So the thing about it is I'm coming to the neighborhood, giving back, and want to revitalize downtown Little Rock. I grew up in downtown Little Rock when I was young, and it was safer. And I'm actually taking a chance to come back downtown because of the things that's been happening here in the city. But I believe if I work with my neighbors, my community, and my city, I think we can turn this around. And that's about it. Oh, also, this is not my first rodeo. I'm a general manager for GG's Lounge downtown, where we have upscale and under tutelage of a couple of guys. I ain't gonna mention their names and ages, but I've been doing this for about 10 years. So all of his concerns, I do understand, I do recognize, and I do have a solution for anything that may come up. Other than individuals, I can't control individuals, but I control my atmosphere and what I offer.
Thank you, Mr. Randall. Commissioners, Any additional questions? Commissioner Brown?
One logistics one. Have you done the check to figure out if you're far enough away from their church to be able to serve alcohol? I know last I heard it was something like 300 feet, closest point to closest point, and I don't know where the property boundaries lie, but looking at the map, it's pretty close. Have you checked into that?
I'm further than Upper Crust. I don't know particularly. I'm further than Upper Crust, and they have alcohol license.
Okay, well, I would encourage you to check on that, just because I know there's some things that are like, they're not really clear. And I've heard of some getting denied, some not getting denied, because that's probably my only, other than that, I'm not really concerned about it.
And I do understand that you said that I take notes because I do take serious opposition. I want to also work with my community. That the parking, yes, I have spoken with Ms. Dennis about those parkings that she, it just suffice for him, that they do rent to Entergy up until 5 o'clock. Approval, based on approval here, we're working on a contract that I'll have those properties rented out. Also, I've been working with Kelly and Company because of my memberships and what they're going to pay. If I get approval here as well, that they're going to work out a contract with me because that parking lot next to me, to the left of me, is getting no money. So with your membership, you have what they call the maitre d' parking. So my memberships, they can park under the parking deck, and that's for the ladies. So.
Yes, sir. Director George, did you have a comment? Mr. Moore, just to confirm, if for some reason this permit weren't granted, the current owner by right, UU, could put a bar in there.
That's
and
correct.
it would not come to this commission, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Are there any other questions, commissioners? Entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve item number 13, file number Z10152-A, with the subject to compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in paragraphs D and E and the staff analysis of the agenda staff report.
Second. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Bernard?
Yes.
Hodges?
Since Mr. Liggett and I have been friends since college, but I'm going to vote yes.
Person?
Yes.
Russell?
Aye.
Samad?
Yes.
Vickers?
Yes.
Eves?
Yes.
McDonald?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you.
Mr. Randall.
You have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Ligon. Mr. Randall, quick question. What is the church you mentioned?
First Presbyterian,
Would love to see collaboration between First Presbyterian and First United Methodist.
and I will be in collaboration because it's my neighborhood, so I got to make it look good because I want you guys to come to Michi's.
Look forward to it. Thank you. All right, our next and last item. Item number 24, Z-10273. Mr. Moore, would you do a reading?
Item 24, file number Z 10,273 is the Smith STR2 PDC located at 9102 Bailey Road. The applicant is requesting to rezone the 0.16 acre property located at 9102 Bailey Road from R2 to PDC to allow the property to operate as a short-term rental 2 with a maximum stay of 29 days. The home is a single-family residence. The owner will not reside at the residence. The residence has been operating as a short-term rental for 2.5 years. The property does contain a 1,314 square foot, one-story, single-family home. The property has parking for 4 cars from a concrete drive off of Bailey Road. There have been no Department of Planning and Development enforcement cases nor any police reports for this property. Staff is supportive of the requested rezoning to allow the short-term rental 2. Staff feels the rezoning of this property will have no adverse impact on the surrounding properties or the general area and recommends approval of the PDC subject to compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in paragraph E and the staff analysis of the agenda staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Would the applicant please approach the podium and state their name for the record?
Hello, my name is Leonard Smith. I am the applicant.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. And as before, you're free to speak, or you may defer your time to the opposition.
I'll follow suit of the other applicants and defer.
Yes, sir. There are two cards in opposition. The first one is Wes Johnson.
My name is Wes Johnson, and I appreciate you all letting me be here. I do own the property, and, well, have since lived there myself since 1962. It went from my parents to me, but now my grandchildren, daughter and grandchildren live there. I do not personally live there. I have before. This subdivision is a residential housing, permanent housing, but it does have rental property in it.
Mr. Johnson, I just want to confirm, your address is 9006 Bailey Road.
9006.
9006. And it looks like the application here is 9102. So you're referring to 9006 that you own, not 9102.
Correct.
Got it. Just wanted to clarify for the record.
I should have made that clear, shouldn't I?
Thank you, sir.
But with my family living there, I just don't want people coming and going, different people every 2 or 3 days or whatever. Realize that it is applying to be a short-term rental. I don't understand why it would be a short-term rental. It's not. We're not in a historic district, and the subdivision itself is actually a low middle-class subdivision, and I just wanted to register my vote against it being a short-term rental.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And our second card in opposition is Ms. Meg Dunn. And I know she spoke earlier, but it doesn't seem that she's here. All right, applicant, would you please return to the podium?
As stated, it's been operating as a short-term rental for a brief amount of time. I wanted to make sure we did everything on the up and up with the application with the city and going through the processes when the regulations change regarding short-term rentals in the city. During the title search, there are 17 properties within the 200-foot radius. Like 9 of those are rentals. So I don't really see what difference it would be as far as having the short-term rental versus, I mean, they're all investment properties in one form or the other. We had no issues with any other patrons that have stayed there. I myself, I am the cleaning crew, I'm the yard crew. You will see my vehicle there on a regular basis. Of the 7 days out of the week, I'm probably there 4. I mean, if there's not a tenant there, even when there are, you will see my truck drive by just to make sure that everything is on the up and up. If I'm in the neighborhood, I will make it a point to drive by to make sure everything is good. Like I said, I've had no issues whatsoever. My next door neighbor actually told me that he thought I just had company from time to time because it's just been so low key. But I do understand. I mean, I am a homeowner myself, but I mean, there's been no issues with the home. It's been fine. If there are no questions for me, so.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions? Commissioner Brown?
Mr. Smith,
Yes, sir.
usually when folks talk about short-term rentals, they rent via Vrbo or Airbnb. Are you using any of those, or are you just like?
Airbnb.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you have particular rules that you apply to your renters?
Yes, sir. The rules are posted throughout the house. There's no parties, no smoking. I have a quiet time. We don't ask anybody not to be outside of the home after 11 p.m. No pets, things of that nature. And those are posted on the website. They're posted throughout the home. And I've had no issues with any of those.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Security cameras outside your property, sir?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair, make a motion for the approval of item number 24, file number Z-10273, subject to the compliance with the comments and conditions outlined in paragraph E in the staff analysis of the agenda staff report.
Second. Commissioner Brown?
Yes.
Bernard?
Yes.
Hodges?
Yes.
Person?
Yes.
Russell?
Aye.
Samad?
Yes.
Vickers?
Yes.
Eves?
Yes.
McDonald?
Yes.
Baxter?
Yes.
Motion's approved.
All right, there are no other items. We've done it. Any
I have-
citizen communications? Any commissioner communications? Commissioner Russell?
Actually, I have a question for staff about STRs, and this came up recently in my review of one of the applications and also with the one that was just discussed. As part of the ordinance, applicants are supposed to provide a detailed floor plan as well as a parking site plan. I know we've received those for applications in the past, but it doesn't seem like we're getting those in the staff analysis any longer. Is there a reason why?
Those are required to be submitted to us as far as them not being in the packets. Yeah, we'll add them back in.
Okay, great, thank you. That was it.
Fantastic. Nothing further. This meeting is adjourned.